Digital Emigre channel, where I talk about tips and strategies for getting EU citizenship and freedom of movement across 30 countries. Today, let's take a look at the cheapest golden visa options in Europe. Now, it's a common misperception that golden visas are only for the super wealthy. Well, you might be surprised to discover that a number of affordable investor residency schemes exist across Europe, well within the reach of somebody with funds, for example, from selling a modest property in the UK or the US. Most golden visa programs in Europe allow investors to gain residency in a country in exchange for making a substantial investment there. This investment is typically in real estate, but it can also be in other formats such as private equity funds, government bonds, or donations to art or scientific research, or setting up a new business and creating jobs. And after a certain number of years, investors can then apply for citizenship of the country, which lets them get an EU passport and all the associated benefits of that. But not all golden visa schemes are created equal, and that's why it's so critical to examine the nuances of each scheme, beyond just hunting for the cheapest options. So today, let's dive in and explore the 6 cheapest golden visa options in Europe. Launched in the spring of 2021, Malta's permanent residency program is Malta's newest contribution to the cheapest golden visas stable. It enables successful applicants and their families to take up permanent residency in the Schengen area, with no physical stay requirements in Malta. With Malta's permanent residency program, you're not obliged to purchase a property, but you can just rent one instead. And after maintaining residency for 5 years, you can then apply for Maltese EU citizenship. However, we've heard mixed reports about how easy the Maltese citizenship application is. It's possible that your application could be significantly delayed or even refused for no specific reason. So we recommend doing further research on Malta expat forums to find out what kind of experiences other people have had. At just €100,000, the Malta Permanent Residency Programme comes in a lot cheaper than Malta's better-known Citizenship by Investment Programme, which starts at €600,000 and leads to a passport in around 18 months, which is fast, but it's a big investment. However, your €100,000 is a donation to the Maltese government. You can't recover it as you would with a regular investment. And what's more, applicants are required to show evidence of having €500,000 worth of total assets, including property, investments or savings, which could be a significant barrier for some people. So, the pros of Malta's permanent residency program: the low cost of investment, no physical stay requirements, no need to purchase property. You can include your immediate family, plus your parents or your grandparents. And you can apply for Maltese citizenship after 5 years. And the cons of Malta's permanent residency program: the €100,000 is a sunk cost and it can't be recovered. It also requires proof of total assets of at least €500,000. Now, Greece's golden visa is popular because it's one of the cheapest golden visas in Europe. And there are several routes available, but the lowest cost option is purchasing residential property in Greece. And the minimum threshold here is €250,000. You should also expect to pay around 10% of the property's value in taxes and legal fees. The great thing is, you don't need to actually live in Greece to maintain your residency status. But those who do plan to apply for Greek citizenship will need to spend at least 183 days per year on Greek territory. Greece's citizenship timeline is 7 years, and you will need a B1 level in Greek language, which could be quite challenging. So the pros of Greece's golden visa: one of Europe's cheapest golden visa options, affordable taxes and legal fees, no need to live in Greece to maintain your residency status. The cons of Greece's golden visa: a long citizenship timeline of 7 years, challenging language requirements of B1 level for citizenship, and onerous physical stay requirements if you want to get citizenship. Now let's look at the Portugal golden visa. This is one of the oldest and most popular golden visa programs in Europe, and we believe it's the best of the bunch. Portugal offers 8 different routes to get the golden visa. Here, we're going to look at the 2 cheapest golden visa options in Portugal at the moment. And we'll also examine a new type of investor visa in Portugal, which has an even lower minimum threshold of investment and the same flexibility as the regular Portugal golden visa. Overall, all Portugal's golden visa routes offer the same great combination of flexibility, low minimum stay requirements, potential for significant tax benefits, a short timeline to citizenship, and easy language requirements for citizenship. So, at €280,000, the real estate rehabilitation in low density areas route is Portugal's cheapest viable golden visa option. And I say viable because there's also a 250,000 golden visa option available, but it involves making a donation to support art and heritage projects in Portugal. As far as I know, it's not often used and not particularly appealing. So the rehabilitation in low density area route requires a minimum investment of 280,000 in residential real estate that's suitable for rehabilitation in one of Portugal's low density areas. These are typically more rural areas in central Portugal, and suitable properties can sometimes be hard to find. Investors can also access the golden visa at this level by investing in a hotel development project in a low density area. This does make the investment process easier because the project is already in progress and it's managed by professional developers. So what are the pros of this low density rehabilitation route? Well, it has a low cost of investment. It's one of the EU's cheapest golden visas. It gives you a fast timeline to citizenship of just 5 years, with low language requirements and low physical stay requirements of only 7 days per year minimum. Development project investments do exist, which can make the process more straightforward. Now, the cons of this route are that suitable real estate in both a rehabilitation and low density zone can be hard to find, and low density areas are typically rural and they may not appeal to foreign investors. Plus, it can be challenging to make sufficient returns on your investment in a low density area. Portugal's rehabilitation route in any eligible area is another of the cheapest options, allowing access to residency by investing a minimum of 350,000 euros in real estate suitable for rehabilitation. At this slightly higher threshold, you're not confined to low density areas, although some of the most popular locations in the country, such as Lisbon, Porto and parts of the Algarve, have now been removed completely from the Golden Visa programme. So what can you get at the 350,000 euro rehabilitation level? Well, to qualify for this level, the property in question must be within a rehabilitation zone and or over 30 years old. And rehabilitation zones are defined by each local municipality. Also, conducting some form of rehabilitation on the property is a requirement of the process, and what constitutes rehabilitation can vary, from light work to an entire structural refit. You could also access the Golden Visa at this threshold by investing in one of the development projects that are ongoing around Portugal. In this way, the property already meets the rehabilitation zone requirements, and the developers will handle all the complexity for you, and all you need to do is invest. So, with some careful planning and research, it's possible to get a brand new apartment using this method. At the moment, Madeira is our favourite option for rehabilitation level investment. So far, there are no plans to remove Madeira from the Golden Visa programme, and the island's real estate market is really hot at the moment. So the pros of the rehabilitation route: it's still a relatively low cost of investment, 350,000 euros, the same fast timeline to citizenship and low language requirements, and again, low physical stay requirements. It also offers the option to invest cheaply in Madeira, one of Portugal's hottest real estate markets, and the possibility of getting a brand new property using one of the ongoing development projects around the country. And the cons of this route are that suitable properties may still be hard to find compared to the standard route. Also, the process can involve significant complexity involved in the rehabilitation, plus the risk of unexpected legal issues arising from rehabilitation works, not to mention the added stress of managing an ongoing project in this sense. Next up, Portugal's newest investor visa, the highly qualified activity visa. It's not a golden visa per se, but it does offer many of the same benefits as the cheapest golden visas. For a low investment of 175,000 euros, the investor gets the same minimal physical stay requirements as a Portugal golden visa holder, and the same 5-year timeline to be eligible for Portuguese citizenship. The HQA is designed for entrepreneurial investors who wish to launch and develop a research-driven startup in conjunction with a Portuguese university. Applying for the HQA requires 2 components: 1, setting up a Portuguese company, and 2, partnering with a Portuguese university to deliver the project in an incubator-style environment. If you manage your startup effectively, it's possible to make returns on your investment, but that is predictable. So for many investors, there's the risk that the €175,000 investment will end up being a sunk cost. There are several concierge-style services that can handle the whole HQA visa application process for you. You can contact us in the description for more details about this. Pros of the HQA route include lower cost of investment than any golden visa, the fast timeline to citizenship and low language requirements, along with low physical stay requirements and a possibility to launch a successful startup and create intellectual property in Europe. There's also the possibility to make a return on the initial investment if your startup is a success. The cons include the added complexity of running a research-driven startup, plus your initial investment risks becoming a sunk cost. Next up, we've got the Latvia Investor Visa. This is our final option, and it's somewhat lesser known compared to the others, but it's one of the cheapest golden visa routes in Europe, and it allows successful applicants to secure residency in Latvia for a minimum of €250,000 invested in real estate or government bonds. There's also an added fee of €25,000 or 5% of the real estate value, whichever one is higher. Latvia Investor Visa holders only need to visit Latvia once a year in order to maintain their residency status. That gives them the rights to live, work and access healthcare in Latvia, plus travel freely across the Schengen zone. And it is possible to upgrade your investor visa to permanent residency of Latvia, but only after a period of 5 years. Although it's one of the cheapest golden visas in Europe, Latvia is not really an appealing option for those who want EU citizenship. For starters, you can only apply for citizenship after being a permanent resident for 5 years. And considering that you need 5 years of temporary residency to get to permanent residency status, that means the total timeline to Latvian citizenship is at least 10 years, which is double the timeline of Portugal. And what's more, Latvia doesn't recognise dual citizenship. You'd have to renounce your old one, except in some cases, such as existing EU citizens, plus citizens of NATO and European Free Trade Association countries, or those of New Zealand, Brazil, and Australia. So there's a few options there. Latvia also has very strict language requirements for citizenship, requiring all applicants to have fluency in Latvian. So to my mind, Latvia is the least suitable option out of the cheapest golden visas in Europe. The pros are that it's one of Europe's cheapest golden visa routes, and it offers a real estate option plus a government bonds option. There's also the possibility of getting a return on your investment. The cons of the Latvia option include its long 10-year timeline to citizenship and the fact that for some countries, Latvia does not recognise dual citizenship and you'd have to give up your original passport. It also has strict language requirements and a citizenship exam. So in wrap-up, today we've looked at 6 of Europe's cheapest golden visas and we've examined their pros and cons in some detail. I hope that you found this video useful. If you've got any further questions about golden visas in Europe, feel free to leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. And for more information on investing in Europe to get EU citizenship, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below and then the bell so you can get notified whenever I release a new video. Thanks very much for watching and see you next time.